This is the JJO Morning Show podcast with Johnny and D. Listen, rate, subscribe.
All right, everybody's fired up over tipping culture still, and that also goes for the people who expect tips. A 59-year-old dude in Washington State named Robert De La Hunt was driving for DoorDash last week when he delivered a $100 order. That's a pretty big order.
That's bigger.
Now, Robert didn't get a tip in the system or a cash tip on arrival, which I'm sure sometimes whatever they see there's not a tip in the system, they assume it's going to be cash when they get there. So he took matters into his own hands, which should be an indicator that this is not going to go well.
Yeah. That's usually for code is something's getting peed on. Or somebody's pooping in the bush.
He returned to the house the next morning with a loaded gun.
Yeah.
He was also loaded.
Wow.
So it sounds like Robert planned to intimidate them into giving him a tip. But the 19-year-old girl and her 55-year-old father were not having it.
Good for you.
Robert lifted his shirt to show that he had a gun, and that's when the father started wrestling him. Hell yeah, dude. The father got control of the gun, shoved Robert down onto the driveway, and demanded that he leave.
Yeah.
Robert, the DoorDasher, called police as he drove away, saying that he returned after being cheated out of a tip. He also said that he was shoved by the father, conveniently glossed over the loaded gun thing. Father and daughter said that Robert was loud and mouthy, and he reeked of alcohol. Cops said Robert later admitted to drinking. He was charged with assault, harassment, and DUI. His BAC was more than twice the legal limit.
All over a $5 tip.
He also had a prior DUI conviction.
Oh.
DoorDash canned him. It doesn't sound like the father and daughter are in any trouble, but they did not explain why they didn't tip. Yeah, you should probably tip.
Yeah, well, you also don't have to tip, but that's okay. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying there's nothing Constitution says you got to tip.
True.
And then there's nothing Constitution says you can bring a gun back, make a tip happen.
True. Right. It's possible everybody involved was wrong.
Like we have a Mexican standoff with the DoorDash guy.
You're wrong for not tipping on your order. Legally, you're not wrong, but morally and ethically, you're wrong.
Right. Usually they don't pee in your food as much as if you tip every time.
Right.
That's how we look at it. I tip so they don't pee on my stuff. That's the only reason I tip.
I tip so that they hurry and my food is warm. And then... And if I'm ordering in Crick, I tip so that they take my order.
A lot of DoorDash drama. They screw with the food or they're rude, they're violent, demanding tips.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's some weird stuff going on in that business.
So,
He's lucky he didn't get shot. He's lucky he didn't take 2 to the chest.
Well, that's just it. You don't know who's going to be answering that door.
Exactly.
You show your gun.
Right.
What if they got a bigger gun? Like you're going to wind up dead over wanting a tip.
Well, what are you going to do?
And like, what is $100 order? What are you?
Right.
I'm assuming you're expecting a $20 tip.
What are you going to do with a guy that shows you his gun at your door, screaming and drunk?
Well, first of all,
I'm going to give him the beat down of his life. Is what I'm going to do before he can pull the damn thing.
I don't answer my door.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be standing right there in front of it, and I'm like, no.
Go away. I'm reloading. Go away.
That's not happening.
No.
That's not. I know you know I'm home. I don't care. Go away. Hell no.
Yeah, I would claim that there's a percentage of people that go to the door holstered. That would be of my opinion.
Sure.
And I'm not saying it's a big percentage, but I'm saying there's a percentage. You want to spin that wheel? Spin that wheel.
No, and like going to a stranger's house, holy smokes, dude. I don't know. And maybe it's because I'm from Wisconsin and I just assume everybody has a gun. I don't know, but...
Always assume somebody's got a gun.
Yeah. And they're ready to use it. That's,
I mean, if somebody's pounding on my door, I assume we're going to have a problem. Not like,
right.
I mean beating on the door, kicking the door, whatever. I'm just saying.
Well, and
because
they probably recognized him.
Yeah.
Like, why is our DoorDash driver here? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be an indicator. I don't know. And then I would assume you'd be kind of scared that he's there to rob you.
Well, how does DoorDash legally not get sued into the oblivion over this stuff?
I'm assuming when you sign up, it's probably in the terms and conditions.
I mean, has a class action suit ever been brought against DoorDash for hiring psychos?
Well, I think that you agree to all that stuff when you sign up.
He wasn't on his shift, I guess. I don't know, man. This tipping, this all goes back to tipping, right? Mm-hmm. Where was I at? I won't say the place. Not only was I asked for a tip, then I was asked for a charitable donation. You can have one. You can't have both.
People, relax.
What a complete waste
We are killing it online. Have you guys checked the comments?
of cyberspace.
Smoke That Skin Wagon says, you guys are killing it.
The JJO Morning Show Podcast.
We're internet sensations.
Johnny and D, nowhere but JJO.
I don't know if y'all heard the news.
Aaron's on the Steelers now.
Oh.
He's on the Steelers now. That don't sound right. You know that ain't right.
All right, today is a big day for donut lovers.
You know what today is?
Friday, it is National Donut Day.
It is National Donut Day. Again, yes, there are two.
Donuts. I got donuts.
I love donuts.
Donuts. Go nuts.
Donuts!
I like that song.
Excellent!
Happy National Donut Day.
I offer these delicious donuts.
Happy National Donut Day.
Showtime.
Portugal the Man. I like that song. Yeah, National Donut Day. You like the Pershings.
Yeah, big fan of
Does
the Pershing.
Pershing count as a donut?
The only thing that makes a Pershing better if it's or would that just be maple frosted Long John with filling inside? The Pershing is different.
Yeah, I don't know that you count a Pershing
But it's still maple.
as a donut.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is it like the steak of donuts?
I don't know.
No, it's the ribeye.
Okay, I'm looking at what makes a donut a donut.
Does it need a hole? Need a hole?
Okay, donuts are traditionally made into a ring with a hole in the center, but they can also be made into balls, sticks, or twists. That's not really a twist, it's a roll.
Persian is like a bastard cousin of the cinnamon roll or cinnamon bun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably not a donut.
Roll.
Yeah.
But you like glazers. You're a donut guy.
Yeah, I do like I do. Well, a dunker more than a glazer. The glazers are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of the dunker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. The dunkers are
They're great with coffee.
Yeah.
They're just freaking perfect.
Yeah.
Love them. Yeah, that's I can't. I just too much icing. It's why I didn't like. What was the other thing? I think they're still around. The green. They use green for their label or whatever.
Krispy
Kreme.
Yeah.
Not a fan. How about you?
Nah.
It's not Krispy Kreme.
Very sweet.
It's just the style. Yeah, it's just a particular donut.
I do like the frickin' raspberry-filled sons of bitches.
Me too.
Man,
huge fan. Yeah, sometimes I'll squeeze that stuff down into my shorts.
Yeah.
Walk around with it all day.
I know. I like the squishy feeling.
It stings my nostrils.
Nobody knows but me. A little secret I have.
Okay. Anyways, now I'm hungry. Now I want a donut.
All right. 1809, donuts arrived from the Netherlands. Ooh. One of the earliest accounts of donuts are attributed to the freaky deaky Dutch settlers. that brought them over to New York. 1918, the Salvation Army sets up canteens in the front lines of World War I to provide care and donuts for the soldiers.
You know, remember, I don't remember the particular movie, but there, like a World War I movie. Those guys would be, they'd have big tin cups. I don't think it was Saving Private Ryan, but they'd have big tin cups of coffee, and they'd just be dunking globs of donuts down into it.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know if you've seen like a scene like that.
No.
All right. It was just seemed very exclusive to World War I. I don't know why.
Well, probably because the Salvation Army was there handing out donuts.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, in 1920, that's when we got mass production of donuts. Adolf Levitt, a refugee from Russia, designed a gadget to help him keep up with the demand for donuts at his shop, and that's how it all started.
Wow.
And then, of course, when you think of donuts, you think of Homer Simpson, right?
Dope.
Yeah. 1989, Simpsons aired for the first time, and that's when we all met Homer. Good old homie. Okay, now, also donuts, you think about, I think of Dexter. Dexter always brought donuts into the office, which was part of his way of making people not think he was a serial killer. The National Today data science team surveyed 1,000 Americans about donuts. And they said, what would you think of someone who brings donuts to the office? And a lot of people, that's what, 51%, said they would think highly of them. 47% was like,
like literally changing your opinion of some asshole at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it would sway you. 47% said my opinion wouldn't change.
You can't be bought.
It would, if it was somebody that I was like, they drive me nuts on an ordinary basis, but they brought donuts in and I was feeling like having a donut that day.
Right.
I would be like, I still can't stand them, but they get a brownie point. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make me change my mind. It's
like when you get free pizza. It's your neurons fire differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're predisposed to free pizza.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird like that. Or free beer.
The top donut flavor, glazed.
How great does it feel when you're at a bar, and I know it's not a lot of money, but somebody buys you a beer? Is that honestly the greatest feeling in the world?
Yeah, it's super cool.
It's the best.
Yeah, it is. It's a good feeling.
And I'm just using beer as an example, but I mean, you know, just the paying it forward.
Oh, here, look at
now,
listeners. He's figuring it out.
Now, the zoo animal is learning how to use his thumb. Now, when you're in a bar and somebody buys you a beer, say I'm sitting at the frickin' Lone Girl. All right, I'm having a beer.
It's you.
And there's some guy at the end of the bar that I don't know, but maybe he listens to the show or something. You know, whatever. Somebody's show.
Is he into you?
Not sexually, so to speak. But say he buys me a beer. Okay. I say, hey, dude, down there wants to get you a beer. I'm like, all right. My first reaction is, all right. And then, should I feel the need to buy a stranger back a beer, or do I just take it as a token of appreciation and move on? Because not that I wouldn't.
Right.
But I'm not compelled to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What's your take on it?
Yeah, usually I like to do a buyback. I'll be like, hey, can I get you a shot?
Yeah. I mean, I will, definitely.
You know, or whatever.
If somebody comes down and talks, I will.
Right. What kind of hangout are we doing? That's, you kind of got to read the room a little bit, see what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good example. We were at Fields last week.
Situational.
We were at Fields last week up at the Dells. Best bone-in ribeye in the state. And 3 dudes from the Dells called me over, and they bought me a shot of tequila.
Yeah.
Nice people. Her mom
and
runs.
They split that up, man. That's like $1.25 each.
Do you know like a Right. And then in my head, I'm sitting there going, oh, my God, this is a $20 bill. Oh, my God. No, her mom ran. Oh, I just forgot. I didn't forget. I was Club 63. Is that right? Where's Club 63? Just outside of the Dells. I have to go there. Am I getting this right?
I don't know.
How dare you?
How dare you?
No, that's Rochester. That ain't right. God dang it. Now I forget the name of it. Oh, I feel like a schmuck.
Well.
Oh, no, Club 23. Oh, my God, I panicked.
Yeah, we heard you.
You can't give me tequila and expect me to remember the name of the supper club.
That is fair.
You got to write it on a bar napkin.
That is fair.
No, I met a great crew from Club 23, Wisconsin Supper Club, out on 23 there in the Dells. So we're going to go up and get a steak or fish and say they were just sweethearts. So shout out to Club 23. I'm sure they make a hell of a brandy old-fashioned and one hell of a fish fry.
Yeah.
So, we'll try that one out. Anyways, but no, they bought me a shot of tequila, which was awesome. They're just great people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was standing there, and we were laughing. And I'm like, do I buy through?
You don't know. You don't have to buy someone
I actually
a drink.
was standing there thinking about it.
Yeah, no. It's not. It's definitely not expected.
It was just a party shot together.
Right.
And then, because I had to go sit down and eat.
And sometimes, because when you buy someone a drink, are you expecting a drink bought back for you?
No, not at all.
Right, and neither are they.
Not one bit.
Yeah.
I do it because there's a reason, or there's
because you feel like buying someone a drink.
There's a glint in someone's eye.
Yeah.
And but I do.
Glint.
You know what I like to do? And I've done this before. I'll buy somebody a drink and leave, and I'll say don't serve it until 5 minutes after I leave. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I've been like, hey, will you, as I'm closing out, grab them a drink or whatever.
I like doing that, and then not saying who it is. Mm-hmm. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, Crawfish has it where you can buy people drinks that aren't even at the bar. Then you leave it on the chalkboard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they got a chalkboard up at Lone Girl. I was trying to think the last person I bought a drink. I think we left one for Randy and his wife. It's kind of fun to do. It gives you a nice warm fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I kiss a lot of ass so I don't get fired around here. So I gotta buy people drinks.
Yeah.
I gotta keep people inebriated around here.
So they don't figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you.
Right. I realize what a terrible 27-year
run you've been on.
Disaster this has turned into.
100%. All right. National Donut Day. 10 billion is the number of donuts made in the U.S. each year.
10 billion?
Yeah.
That's sick.
There are 10 people living in America with donut as their surname. That's pretty cool.
How many people?
10.
Just 10?
Yeah.
All right.
13 people have donut as their first name.
I like it. Have you ever, be cool to,
Donut danger.
How about a fat cat and name one of your pets a donut?
Yeah, totally. I could see Angie naming one of her animals donut.
Always
She's already
named
got
like
lasagna and Kmart.
Yeah, I like that. Donut. That's good. That's good. What'd you say the other day? You had two, I said would be funny names. Start with an S.
Oh, dude, I don't remember.
It's not Shamil Shlamazel. What was it?
I have no idea.
It was funny. I can't remember.
The most powdered donuts eaten in 3 minutes, according to the Guinness World Records, is 9. Oh, my God. That is a lot of powdered donuts to put away.
I will tell you a donut I threw away, and I'll just say it because I'm going to let the chips fall where they may. I had those Hostess mini donuts.
Oh.
Dude, they were inedible. It was the funkiest, weirdest, waxy chemical thing I've ever put in my mouth. I threw them away.
Yeah.
I think I had an allergic reaction to it. It was was that weird tasting. Mm-hmm. I don't remember being them that weird, but whatever.
All right. Well,
anywho,
there you go.
Nice donut, lady.
Yeah. There's more going on today too. Let's see.
I talk about the truck nuts
legislation. Emergency legislation. It's also National Eyewear Day, National Yo-Yo Day.
Yo-Yo Day?
You should probably wear some eyewear if you're playing with your yo-yo.
Love yo-yos. I do. I love yo-yos.
Applesauce Cake Day, Drive-In Movie Day. So there you go.
What's the last drive-in movie theater at?
Richland Center.
Maybe?
I
thought they closed that.
I don't know.
I thought the drive-in done dried up.
They closed the one in Jefferson is.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's been closed forever. Or no, did somebody... Starlight 14. There you go. Richland Center. Yep, I think they're still rocking.
Sergio texted in, I'm a guy, and a dude bought me a beer. He spoke no English and was rubbing my back afterwards. True story.
Sir, this is a Wendy's. There's not supposed to be alcohol in here. Would you kindly get your hand off of me? Or...
The Dells has a drive-in.
The Dells?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
I don't know. Skyview in Monroe is open.
Why am I spacing?
Highway on 16 is the drive-in in the Dells.
Highway 16.
Mm-hmm. And Brian texted in, he's on the Steelers now.
Oh.
It's going to be in your head all day.
Aaron Rodgers signed with the Steelers yesterday.
Aaron's on the Steelers now.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, got it.
We thought uploading to the cloud was something completely different. The JJO Morning Show Podcast. Johnny and D, JJO.
You want to do your story about nuts?
Okay. Sure, why not? What else have I got to do? All right, you guys. You're going to love this. Now, I need some feedback here on truck nuts.
Okay. Now,
Idaho passes emergency truck nut legislation. In March, the Idaho legislature declared an emergency existed in that state, requiring it to immediately criminalize the public exposure of truck nuts. House Bill 270, the governor has since signed, amended, expanded states' indecent exposure. Previously criminalized only the exposure of one's business in a public place or in any place where there is present another person or persons who are offended. But Idaho Code 184116 now expands this to punish those who display toys or products intended to resemble male or female business. Not show business.
Oh,
it's
dude.
not show balls.
Y'all don't want your business up in there.
The concern about toys or products intended to resemble human business is what? Why do they keep calling it business? They're balls. Yam bag. So, anyways, they've dubbed it. It's been nicknamed the Truck Nuts Bill because that's what it's for. As the spokesperson said, they're gross, they're offensive. Kids on the road see them, so why wouldn't the police get a call and say, "I see testicles," and pull the truck over? This bill will now allow that. And I talked to the police and say, indeed, it will result in you getting pulled over and the removal of your nut bag.
That's so crazy to me because...
It does seem insane to me.
Because of how it is out there. And they normally don't really care at all what you're doing. As long as you aren't hurting anybody else.
Every time this comes up, I will ask the same question. Why is it you can go see a Greek statue and the penis and the nuts are right there?
Damn
Usually
Greeks.
at eye level because they're on a pedestal.
Friggin' Greeks and their balls.
Why? Why is that okay?
I had a dime for every time I saw a set of Greek balls.
At Jersey Mike's. It's just balls. I mean, to me, you see them in a painting. Or you see, statues. Statues. Who is it? David? I don't know whose balls I'm looking at. I never know until I read the plaque. Until I look at the plaque, I have no idea whose balls I'm looking at. I have no idea. And so, why is that okay?
Till I hear their voice. Yeah. I have no idea whose balls I'm looking at.
I never get an explanation on why a statue's balls are okay.
Well, because
I got to drive there to pay to look at them?
Because when those statues were made, nudity wasn't viewed the way it is now.
There's an answer.
Right. And
there's an answer.
The human form.
Dogs have balls. Why do I have to look at dog balls? They're jiggling and whipping around and to and fro. Why do I have to look at dog balls?
Yeah, and then they'll put their balls right on your foot.
Why is a truck nut accessory offensive, but looking at dogs' testicles are not offensive? Why can you have one but not the other? You can't answer that.
I don't know. Well, and that's the other day we drove past a beef farm and there was a bull out with him.
Oh yeah.
And I said to Amber, I was like, dude, did you see his balls? She's like, what is wrong with you?
Oh yeah. They just want to go up. Juggle them. Oh yeah.
Don't you just want to tap the bottom of him a little bit?
Yep. Bounce him a little bit off the finger.
But you're right. If you could see balls in the wild all the time,
why?
What's the matter with them hanging off of someone's truck?
Explain that to me. And do you explain it to your kid if you see truck nuts or dog testicles? Have you ever explained that to your kid?
Well,
what makes a difference?
It's just balls, dude. I don't know.
What else? Yada yada. Truck nut yada yada. All right, so that's the current situation.
I start to feel like it's because they're like, well, listen, I get a boner every time I see them. We can't have these truck nuts everywhere.
I'm not saying they serve a purpose. I'm saying they're less offensive than balls on a dog, aren't they? I mean, isn't that more laughable on the hitch of a truck?
Oh, yeah.
And you see dog balls, and you don't even think about them because, well, a dog has balls. Why would I be offended? Well, so what? Those are plastic. Those things hanging off that hitch, they're a plastic decoration. Shouldn't you be a little less offended by a plastic? Am I wrong? I'm confused.
There's balls everywhere.
There's balls everywhere. You just got to look around a little bit. They're not.
I choose to see the balls.
I feel like I'm talking to a 5-year-old. They're not actually testicles. It's just a plastic thing on a hitch. There's a difference between my testicles and those plastic testicles. There's a difference. One's attached to a man, a big burly man, and the other one's just a plastic decoration. Weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out how they harm people.
Why don't you put a little diaper on dogs so you don't have to look at its dog balls? If you're offended by balls, you have to explain to me why those balls are worse than these balls. And every time, if you're playing the ball shot game at home, you're hammered.
I think it's crazy. Like, you can drive down the road there and shoot a gun out of your car while you're driving. And the cops are like, it's fine.
Hey, put that away.
But you're going to get pulled over for truck nuts? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
And then a penis.
Even drunk driving out there, they're like, just get home.
Isn't a penis worse than balls? I mean, if you're going to rank male genitalia, isn't a penis more offensive than a ball sack? So if you're looking at a statue and you see the penis, your head should explode, technically. Oh my God, balls and a wiener. Well, what? I'm so confused.
It's so wild because the people that are doing this legislation are also the same people that are like
cheating on their spouses. No, what? Wait.
Well, no, it's the people that are like, well, I don't care if you're offended or you can't. Nobody cares about your feelings. Well, but you seem to have a lot of feelings about a lot of things, and then you make your feelings everybody else's problem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and this whole idea, and this goes for everybody.
If you put it to a vote, you'd have a different outcome.
Right. This idea of going through life not being offended is wild to me. It's wild. Part of the human experience is being offended occasionally, and it's okay to be offended.
Puts hair on your testicles.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's okay.
You got to grow a thicker testicle.
You know, like, oh, I find that offensive.
Right.
Okay, move on. Right?
Thanks. Thanks. See you.
Like,
see you later.
Isn't that easy?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not saying truck nuts are the prettiest thing, but being a douchebag also isn't against the law. There's
Right.
no law against that.
Right.
There's nothing in the Constitution about that.
Totally. Otherwise, Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be a thing.
I mean, if I'm sorry. Did Aaron Rodgers just sign up with the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday?
Aaron's on the Steelers now. He's on the Steelers now. That don't sound right.
If you're going to argue anything, you should say, well, put a penis on it so we can explain that. If anything, you should add a penis.
I know, dude.
All right, weirdest stuff ever.
What about the decal for the guy driving around that's like, I eat ass? What about that guy?
What about that guy? Nobody's calling up an emergency state session for that one.
You know what I mean?
It's strange. Very, very strange.
You know, or what about the guy that has the SS stickers driving around? What about him?
Yeah, First Amendment, freedom of speech.
Right, right.
He can do it.
Like, you can't. Whatever. It's just so dumb.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
I think I don't know if we have one yet, but I think we ought to somehow manipulate a rubber vagina. See,
I'm listening.
You girls can fight fire with fire. It's like a big old vag out there somewhere. I don't know what it would do. Maybe you could put you could put a hole through it. It whistles when you drive down the road.
So it's truck nuts. What would it be? Truck lips.
Truck lips, and then it whistles. And then explain that.
No, it should go.
All right. Well, that's that. That is that.
All right.
The JJO Morning Show podcast with Johnny and D. Listen, rate, subscribe. Catch a new show every Monday through Friday, 6 till 10 a.m. on 94.1 JJO or streaming anywhere in the JJO app. Johnny and D. Nowhere but JJO.